Hey, what's up guys, my name is Charlie. Today we're going to be reacting to some more nostalgia critic, and it's going to be Alice in Wonderland, the 2010 movie. Oh Christ. Yeah, I remember this movie. I just want to say first, I've actually watched the Disney Alice in Wonderland movie, the animated version. That movie was totally amazing. I loved that movie. Hell, I even gave us some trippy music as well for those who don't know the what was it? The Jefferson Airplane rock band. What was the song? White Rabbit or something. If you listen to that song, you are going down an acid trip. Honest to God, that is. You don't need to do mushrooms or drugs or anything. If you want to get high, just listen to that fucking music, and you're already there. That is the perfect example of what it is to be on an acid trip. No magic mushrooms needed. So if you want to try to experiment with drugs, just listen to that music, and it will set you on the right path. But yeah, that music, God bless it. Yeah, I've watched the sort of original Disney animated version, and then I didn't read the books or watch live plays of Alice in Wonderland or anything like that. The next one I watched was the Alice in Wonderland 2010. And to be honest with you guys, I didn't really enjoy it. I know, don't throw the tomatoes, don't get angry. I didn't really enjoy Alice in Wonderland, this 2010 version. Mostly for the same reasons with Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I prefer the Gene Wilder version. I didn't enjoy Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I just felt it was too much, too overwhelming. It just overloaded me with CGI effects and everything. It was just sort of like a Michael Bay sort of thing. You know, when Michael Bay doesn't have a story to tell, so he just fills it up with fucking explosions. That's what I felt like with Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. It was just full of CGI effects, and it just really turns me off from watching the movie. Still today, I can't watch it, and I don't like the movie. So I'm sorry if I've offended your feelings. I'm sure I said, what are you talking about? Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is one of the best movies. I'm sorry. I really didn't like that movie. I didn't like Johnny Depp's performance in that. I'm sure you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it, hey, I'm glad for you. But for me, I'm not gonna watch that piece of shit movie ever again. I enjoyed some of it because it was by Tim Burton, of course. I enjoyed the sort of style, and that's really it. I only enjoyed some of parts. I didn't say I 100% hated the movie. It's just 50-50. I just hated it because it was just so overwhelming. And this is the same sort of thing that's going on here. Alice in Wonderland, it was way too overwhelming for me. There was too much CGI going on. Now, the CGI is very weird and bizarre and kind of cool at some points. So, like I said, it's like a 50-50 bag of revels. You get some good stuff in this movie, you get some bad stuff in this movie. Of course, Johnny Depp is in this fucking movie as well. Again, what is with Tim Burton keep hiring fucking Johnny Depp? Johnny Depp really must need the bloody money. Because I heard he's broke. Yeah, Alice in Wonderland for 2010. I enjoyed it and I hated it. It's got good bits and it's got bad bits. I'm cherry picking the movie. I like some of the CGI. I really did. But the rest of it can be really overwhelming because some of the I just wish there was a little bit more story and less CGI. Maybe you enjoy this movie. Maybe you disagree and say, "Oh, Charlie, what the hell are you talking about?" It's perfectly fine. Yeah. And the thing with also is with the Alice in Wonderland, the Disney sort of animated, that was animated, so it's sort of transitioned differently when it's sort of live action, so to speak, on a movie. So when actually you got real live actors and stuff, it sort of takes a different turn. It sets a different atmosphere because, animations can do so much more than sort of live actions. Animations have an unlimited amount of possibilities. They can do whatever they want. They want to add an explosion, they can. If they want to add an explosion, it's got to be CGI on live screen, and that can take away from the experience sometimes because they could be bad. But with drawing effects, they could be totally awesome. They could be amazing, realistic. So yeah, I'm just saying the difference between live action and animated can be very different. But I didn't like this sort of this sort of live action way. I would like to see a live play of Alice in Wonderland. I think that would be totally awesome if they would have just done a live play and just did it that way. But unfortunately, they didn't. But yeah. It can't be as bad as Alice Through the Looking Glass. That was the worst. So, yeah, I think we can all agree Alice Through the Looking Glass, whatever that movie was, whatever that movie title was absolutely god-awful. But, yeah, let's play the video. I wanted to explain myself before everyone starts throwing tomatoes at me saying, oh, Charlie, how could you not like this movie? I liked it and I didn't like it, okay? 50-50. Ease up. But, yeah, let's play the video. Let's go.
Why spring cleaning always have to come after winter? The hell's this? Oh my god, I thought I had these destroyed after Wilson Gate. We'll soon fix that. Where's my evidence-destroying hammer?
There were a lot of redeeming sort of moments
Hey, I'm Carrie Juice.
and a lot of
Don't be
bad
upset.
moments.
Today's the greatest day ever. In fact, let's give each other gifts. Yoink! Hi! Doodles!
Get back here, you evil nest quick, buddy! Wow!
Oh, the trippiness.
Oh my god. The maid cafe at the Addams Family.
Hello, my name is Malice. Are you quite alright?
Melis.
Yeah, fine. I was just looking for
A black rabbit.
Yeah.
Carrying a hard drive.
Yeah!
And you escaped from the
Malice?
American McGee
What's that?
Institute, hoping
Is that
that
from
if
the
you bring
video
it back,
game?
it'll prove
That
to the world that you're not a psychotic maniac.
Alice in Wonderland
Hard
horror
enough, but
game.
2 out of 3 ain't bad. So, have you seen them?
Oh, yeah, that way.
Ooh-hi-hee!
What was that? Alice in Wonderland
what the hell's going
horror
on
game.
here?
Here,
Can't remember
drink
what it
this.
was called.
It'll make your tolerance for overly
I used to play the
cliché
shit out of
10
that
times
game.
smaller.
What the hell are you talking about? Oh, forget it.
Damn.
What is this, some sort of LSD land?
Oh
You're
yeah.
not too far off, actually. It's Burtonland.
Welcome to Wonderland.
Oh, Christ.
You gotta go on an acid trip. Yeah. I like some of the CGI in this movie, from what I remember, but the rest of it was just... I felt like it was trying to fill up the whole entire movie with CGI effects. And I wanted more story.
My god, look at this place. Like a coloring book if the only crayon available was gray.
Oh, come now, it's not all that bad. At least it's creative.
Yeah, the first million times, sure, but the million then one... Just as bad as when he took over Disney's Alice in Wonderland.
Oh, but I love that cartoon.
No, not that one. I hate the fact I have to make that distinction now. No, I'm talking about Disney's Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland.
Oh boy.
But
I like the
yet,
characters,
I thought
some
that
of
was a
them.
big hit.
I mean,
if it was so bad,
Johnny
why did it make
Depp's
so much money?
character was pretty
Oh,
cool,
yeah,
the Mad Hatter. He was pretty cool. Somewhat.
Oh god, it's Danny Elfman. What's the matter, Critic? I thought you enjoyed my musical composition. Yeah, for the first 10 years, now all your stuff sounds like the filler music you skip on soundtracks. Oh, but Critic, don't you know that kind of repetition is what makes Burtonland so popular? It's Tim. Baton! The spirals everywhere. It's Tim! Let's get you fucked up hair. It's Tim! Where everything is style over substance, but it looks good, so who cares? It's Tim! It's Tim. Baton! All angles are skew. It's Tim! With foggy
boy.
lenses too. It's Tim! Where all supporting characters are kings holding the movies on the wings, and all the leads are about as interesting as glue. It's Tim! This world of such uniqueness has been done a million times. A dark and gloomy outlet for suburbanites to whine. And though it's saying little, hipsters think it's saying more. It's selling much more whiteness than a rich albino whore.
Oh, damn.
Remakes, reboots, they're making us a ton of loot. And anything that that's new. It's rare, and yes, the style's showing wear and tear, but all the profits clearly there.
They should have done like a James and the Giant Peach sort of style. Anime cartoon sort of style.
Very good. We're looking for the Black Rabbit.
And now, the rendition with the
Yeah,
whimsical
they
choir that
they
can
should have
always
sort
sing
of did a
vowels.
James and the Giant Peach sort of style to the Alice in Wonderland.
This doesn't help us. If you could just direct us. Well, I tried to be nice. Excuse me.
Oh shit!
Oh my god, what are you doing? Oh god,
Oh.
no, not that! Oh no, put that back in my body! Oh no, I need those! I need those!
Oh.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Oh,
never felt
dear.
so bad. Oh.
God.
Alright, he went down that way! Oh!
Right then, he says we just follow that road.
Goody. You go in front of me while I start the review.
Very good.
Run!
Seems so nice. We see a young Alice being awoken by nightmares as her father tries to put her asleep while discussing trading and business.
Of
I
course.
see strange creatures.
What kind of creatures?
There's a dodo bird, a rabbit in a waistcoat.
Wasn't Alan Rickman in this movie?
Bonkers. Off your head.
I think this
Rest
calls
in
for
peace,
a
Alan
good
Rickman.
bleeding. That's what solves every problem in this time period.
But I'll tell you a secret. All the best people are.
So father's so perfect he surely has to die soon. Die soon after Alice's
course.
19th birthday. This leaves her with a mother who's certainly a product of the times, who is not willing to accept Alice because, of course, she's ahead of her time, and doesn't realize that the ahead of the times cliche has been done so many times that actually makes it behind the times.
Where's your corset?
I'm against them.
But you're not properly dressed.
Who's to say what is proper? What if it was agreed that proper was wearing a codfish on your head? Would you wear it? To me, a corset is like a codfish.
And now
Wow.
it's time for tired oppression cliches for tired free-spirited whippersnappers.
And no stockings.
Ooh, most unorthodox.
I was wondering what it would be like to fly.
Oh, how uncivilized.
My father said he sometimes believed in 6 impossible things before breakfast.
Oh, heavens to Betsy.
When in doubt, remain silent.
Oh, much better.
Do you know what I've always dreaded? Ugly grandchildren.
Oh, how very proper.
I don't know if I want to marry him.
Ooh, how obviously not stuck up and wrong. I hope no other character in any other movie ever made repeats what she does in this film. That would be randy.
Hamish, do you ever tire of Quadville?
On the contrary, I find it
Hamish?
invigorating.
Yeah.
It's Irish or
Bad
Scottish?
Screenwriting 101, guys. A good writer focuses on what a character
Hamish is sort of
not what a
Scottish and
character
Irish.
isn't. We know that
think it's a
Alice
Scottish and
isn't
Irish, 'cause I've
following
heard
the
a lot
law,
of,
isn't
Scots
as
with that
submissive
name,
as her
Hamish.
peers, and isn't going to be told what to do. Well, okay, that's all fine and good, but what is she then? Blander than bread?
I can see you're very close.
Look, you won't mention this to your sister, will you?
I don't know. I'm confused.
Are you sure she's not a product of the emotionless Victorian era?
The gardeners have planted white roses when I specifically asked for red.
You
Oh,
can always
how
keep
dramatic
your
for
roses
you.
red.
And of course, as it goes, all the things that Alice will come across inevitably will work their way into her fantasy world
Of
as well.
course.
Like the owner complaining about the white roses, talking to Tweedle Kinda and Tweedle Sorta. And of course, what seems like an insane society needing to be challenged.
Will you be my wife?
But this is happening so quickly.
So she turns down the proposal of one of the lesser Weasleys, mostly because she sees
She's
the
a
white,
white
rabbit?
rabbit?
Wait a minute. So they're clearly establishing that none of this is a dream and that it's all reality?
Maybe she was
Okay,
poisoned.
Despite the fact that
Maybe
this is
she
clearly going against
ate
what the original
something like
book
a
was
magic
doing,
mushroom
why
and
would
she's
all these
hallucinating.
obvious symbols that worked its way into the fantasy be presented? I mean, what's the point if it's all real? I mean, it's suddenly being like, oh, hey, Santa Christ. Hello.
Santa
what are you
Christ.
doing here? I don't know. So of course Alice follows him down the rabbit hole, and things look pretty promising as the wacky and nonsensical spirit of Wonderland seems to be shining through.
Yeah, I always thought she had a head injury. Maybe she hit her head
All
on a
she needs
tree or
is a
something.
script that says right.
So this isn't all real. This is just her in a coma
She
or
of course
something.
shrinks down wearing a convenient mini dress that she had on her. maybe she was gonna play Goth Barbie later, and enters the rather gray and blurry world of Wonderland.
I think it's like a dark tale.
Life I know,
Yeah, I mentioned this.
Generation.
Yeah, this is definitely Charlie and the Chocolate Factory all over again.
Oh, I'm sorry. Eek, or emotional reaction, or I don't know. I guess I'm sticking with nothing.
She's the wrong Alice.
If she was, she might be.
Absalom will know who she is.
Alice, go with you. Hey, it's not been your turn.
You'll notice quickly that all the characters speak to her like they've encountered her before. And that's because they have. Yeah, I bet you thought you were gonna get the story of Alice in Wonderland, didn't you? God, I don't know how the fuck you got that stupid idea. But no, this is a semi-sequel, not based on the semi-sequel, because all the logic they semi-throw in semi-makes no sense.
Unroll the oraculum.
They inform her that the Red Queen has taken over with her
Rickman.
evil Jabberwocky,
Rest in peace,
and
my
that
friend.
this ancient calendar, which is never wrong, claims that she will defeat it.
It tells of each and every day since...
God, I miss that damn voice.
That'd just be in the day you slay the Jabberwocky. That being you there with a vorpal sword. No other swords can kill the Jabberwocky.
Oh, great, another prophecy story. You know, why are these so popular? Why does everyone go along with something because the prophecy said so? What reliable source do these prophecies come from? Who writes them? How do we know they can be trusted?
Sir, Wonderland is checking up on their prophecy.
I told him to check that weird calendar thing I made up.
And Narnia?
Narnia, oh
Peter showed
Christ.
the way for the bedknobs and broomsticks kids with the Lion King.
Dune?
A chosen one.
Matrix?
A chosen one.
Phantom Menace?
A chosen one.
Jesus?
Let's leave that one up to interpretation. I don't see anyone going too crazy for that one.
Hey, is it me or does that guy look familiar?
Nope.
Oh, okay, it must be one of those. Ah!
Hey, hey, hey. Oh, happy day, oh, happy day.
What's he so happy about anyway?
Probably all the money.
Who in the blazes are you?
If you're looking for strangeness, you needn't look harder.
For he's Tweedledepp and I'm Tweedle Carter.
Oh, that's right, the ceremonial Johnny Depp and Helena Bottom Carter appearances.
But I thought that they were talented actors, playing a variety of characters.
They were until they found their niche playing crazy, eccentric, homeless-looking people. For I'm the Mad Hatter and her the Red Queen. We chew up the scenery scene after scene.
We act through bad wardrobe and hair that's insane.
It's like a Where's
and make
Waldo.
it so thick it rival Hunger Games.
We bulge out our eyes
T-shirt
And
going on there.
twiddle our fingers.
Doing this gets us both round near 10 figures. Yes, and as you'll notice, neither of them really do anything different. After Alice escapes one of the Queen's monsters by being defended by a mouse, in the most PG way possible, by the way.
Ooh!
Very legit.
No, it's not a family
She
picture.
comes
Come
across
on,
the Mad
not
Hatter,
the
who is
eyeball.
apparently so mad that he keeps alternating between accents.
Oh, it could have been one of his testicles. So.
I'd know you anywhere.
I'd know him anywhere.
The Jabberwock with eyes of flame. The jaws that
Ah,
bite,
yes.
claws that catch.
Investigating things that begin with the letter M. Of course, but now you're back, you see, and we need to get on to the Frabjous Day.
You have any idea?
It's very strange, but I like it as well because I feel like he's broken. Like he's
Of course, his not very lunacy
like
is
his
only offset by
personality is
Helena Carter's
broken.
not
The Mad
very
Hatter.
lunacy,
He's mad,
as
so
she
he's
plays the Red Queen.
broken.
And actually, at first, it almost kind of works. Because in the beginning, she seems to get upset over stupid, silly things. Like who ate her tarts.
Did you steal my tarts?
No, Your Majesty.
Squimberry juice.
I was so hungry! Up with his head!
That's in keeping with the nonsensical spirit of the book. But, for whatever fucking reason, they keep bringing in this political power struggle and talk of the prophecy, and that's not what Alice in Wonderland is about. It's supposed to be a fun road trip of
Yes.
dreamlike nonsense, an escape from reality through creative surrealism. It's supposed to be a childlike experience, not a fucking war movie.
Yeah.
And listen, these characters constantly talk like they're in a war movie.
When the White Queen once again wears the crown.
Like not slaying anything.
Down with the bloody big head.
The entire world is falling to ruin.
We're going to rescue him.
That is not foretold.
Turn with the bloody Red Queen!
Oh, come on. Could
Yeah,
you see the
boy.
Mad Hatter getting involved with a cause? The communist flag will rise! Can you see the original Cheshire Cat getting invested with freedom fighters?
I never get involved in politics.
Oh, is that why you constantly get involved with political movements every couple of scenes?
Goodbye.
Why bring sense and logic to a world that celebrates having no sense and logic? It just sucks the fun out of it.
Who would want fun when there's gloom instead?
That's like talking through your teeth, not hearing what's said.
I'm wearing stripes. I apologize, but they annoy me. I'm going to kill them.
That's fine.
What is wrong with you? You're usually so nice. Stop killing people.
Oh, I'm afraid I already did when you looked over there.
What? I didn't look over there. Damn it!
Oh.
You escaped from a mental institution.
Well, I assume you did too, given how you're dressed.
Yeah, I can't remember that game. I got
that
that horror Alice in Wonderland game on Origin, the PC game. It was really good. I can't remember what it's called for the life of me. And it's really strange because I've played that game so many times. But fucking thing's not coming
So
to
the
my
Hatter
head.
lets Alice know that Wonderland
damn
used to
it.
be ruled by the White Queen, played by Anne Hathaway, until the Red Queen summoned her Jabberwocky to destroy everything.
How tragic.
Oh, the heartbreaking tragedy. If only there was some sort of warning they could have had to prepare them for this. Like a calendar that predicts the future and is never ever wrong. Wait a minute. Didn't they say that fucking thing predicts whatever's gonna happen?
It tells of each and every day since the beginning.
Well, why the flying hell were they just partying then? Did they miss the
forget
part where
about
we
it?
all burn and get our asses fried? You'd think somebody would put a goddamn bookmark on that section, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
That White Queen's doing a heck of a job.
Maybe it was inevitable.
So the Hatter sees the guards coming, thus swings Alice away on his hat.
Maybe they just
Which,
forgot.
by the way, even then she looks disinterested. Oh no, I guess. And he's taken away. Thankfully, one of the guards' dogs finds Alice, but she discovers that he's a spy for the rebellion.
Would your name be Alice, by any chance?
Yes, but I'm not the one that everyone's talking about.
The Hatter would not have given himself up just for any Alice.
Yes, that would be mad. And nothing in his name indicates he'd be anything like that.
We're going to rescue him.
That is not foretold.
I've been accused of being Alice and of not being Alice, but this is my dream. I'll decide where it goes from here.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. Alice this whole time, I mean like 80% of the goddamn movie, totally believes that this is all a dream.
This is my dream. This is my dream. It's only a dream. I'm still dreaming. Wake
Well, I
up from
thought it
this
was a
dream.
dream as well. I thought maybe she took a drug at the party.
I
You
would
know,
dream up someone
she had
who's half
a
mad.
bit of magic mushrooms.
You know, I
Someone
think there's only so
slipped
long a
her
person
some drugs
tells
or
themselves that
something,
they're
and
asleep
she's
before
slowly
fucking
dying.
reality starts to take effect. I mean, the dream excuse can only get you so far before your other senses start to kick in. For example, it's okay, it's just a dream. It's okay, it's just a dream. It's okay, it's just a dream.
Ooh.
You see? On top of that, if she
Maybe
does
she's
think
fighting
this is
for
all a
her
dream,
consciousness.
what does she
Maybe
care what
she's
happens
fighting
to the
to
Hatter?
live.
What does she care if it's her fault?
I don't
She has no obligations in a dream. Though, then again, maybe that would explain why her performance is about as invested as Willy Wonka saving a bratty child.
I'll decide where it goes from here.
If you diverge from the path,
I make the path.
Stop, don't come back.
So she makes it to the castle
wanna.
where,
It's a
again,
bit like,
PG film, she
James
climbs
and the
over the
Giant
severed
Peach.
heads in a bloody
You know,
river
did it
of the
really
Queen's
happen?
victims.
Was he
Disney
dreaming
good
all
shit.
along?
And eventually comes across the captured White Rabbit.
I've come to rescue the Hatter.
You're not rescuing anyone being the size of a gerbil.
Would he have any more of that cake that made me grow before?
Actually, I might have some left.
And this is another reason why Wonderland doesn't work as a strategic world of war. There's cake that makes you grow huge.
I want some of that cake.
Whoever has that shit, battle over. You win. Mass produce that shit and make an army of King Kongs. You can squash
Yeah.
this place like a Lego city faster than you can say Curiouser and Curiouser.
That's so true.
It's like if Malice and I had some of that cake and we suddenly came across a threat.
I am the terrible Jibber Jabber, writer of these
Jibber
terrible
Jabber.
movies. Allow me to make your lives more needlessly complicated, oh dear.
Oh, okay,
No,
that's
rather than
not the
kill the
problem.
queen in her tracks, even though she's a giant, she makes up a story about who she is. Why? What's the purpose? She could bite her head off like a fucking animal cracker.
I've been growing an awful lot lately. So I've come to you, hoping you might understand what it's like.
Anyone with a head that large is welcome in my court.
Okay, whatever.
Wow.
So the Queen takes her in, and Alice eventually tries to break the Hatter out, as well as find the sword to defeat the Jabberwocky.
Tweedles.
Alice! How do you do again?
Where's the rabbit?
Over this.
Oh, that's Wonderland. Nothing makes any sense. Wait, now they're taking her to where he is. But you just pointed in the opposite direction. Are you taking him there or are you not taking him there? What? Is there any goddamn consistency in this place?
No, it doesn't
Should we
make
just
sense.
rename the characters the kinda Mad Hatter? Should we change the phrase to just a little quirky but still totally reasonable as a March Hare? But before she can get the sword, she has to deal with this weird scene with the leader of the guards, played by Crispin Glover.
I like you, I like largeness.
Wow, Burton's really working through some issues with this movie, isn't he? Next she'll be telling me he has a thing about rats. So she does find the sword and manages to befriend the Beast by giving him his eye back. She's unable to save the Hatter, but the Beast does carry her over to Epcot Gondor, where the White Queen awaits.
Come with me.
The White Queen.
You're late for your soup, you bosom.
Could use some salt.
That's my attempt at being funny. It'd be funnier if I was funny.
Boys movie.
Wait a minute, they're shrinking her down? Why the flying fuck are they shrinking her down? She has to fight a gigantic Jabberwocky, remember?
Yeah.
Did we forget our little stomp talk?
Oh.
Come on, guys, this makes about as much sense as the Cheshire Cat
Yeah, it
wanting
doesn't
to
make
help the
sense.
rebellion, but uses his godlike powers just to save one person.
You could be fucking King Kong and squish everybody.
Oh, come on! He could turn into Godzilla and squash the place if he wanted.
Yeah.
There's a bajillion things he could have done here. He could win this war in a blink of a goddamn eye.
Yeah.
But hey, like he said,
I never get involved in politics.
Of
only
course.
when bad writing dictates so.
Goodbye.
So the Mad Hatter is saved, but they still had to figure out how Alice is going to defeat the Jabberwocky on the day of battle. Which, of course, shouldn't matter, seeing how even now she still thinks this is all a dream. Thank God this plot thread has a running time past 5 seconds of tolerance.
Oh my god, this movie ends.
Of course. This has all come from my own mind.
Okay, honey, no offense, but you're way too boring to think up anything as creative as this. I think the most your mind could dream up is a paperclip on a rice cake. That's how exciting
You gotta give her
your
credit
imagination
for
gets. And
thinking
yet,
that, you
in a
know,
confusing scene, even
she's
though
sane.
they all know it has to
And
be
this is all a
Alice,
dream.
they ask who'll stand up and fight for the White Queen.
Who will step forth to be champion for the White Queen?
some of you may die, but
No.
it is a sacrifice I'm
Me.
willing to take. Shrek. Something like that. and then-
Skills. I should be the one.
Oh, that's very big of you, seeing how you never get involved in politics. Ghost Dad has more consistency than you.
Oh, Christ.
But then they remind themselves of what they already know. Alice has to do it.
The choice must be yours. Because when you step out to face that creature, you will step out alone.
Why? Because some magic toilet paper told you so? Why does any of this have to be this way? It doesn't. It's total bullshit. For a world that's apparently supposed to have no rules, there sure do seem to be a lot of
I didn't really expect much from
rules.
this movie
Oh,
anyway,
wait,
because
it gets
it's
better.
sort of
The
live action.
caterpillar reveals the great big shocking twist. Are you ready? Oh man, this is gonna blow your mind. Are you ready? It's so shocking, you're not gonna believe. Okay, you ready? Here we go. Here we go. Okay, you ready? Here we go. Alice, this whole time, was Alice. Wait, what?
Alice, at last. What do you call yourself?
Alice.
Z.
Whoa, wait a minute, movie. So, are you suggesting that the Alice from Alice in Wonderland this whole time was Alice from Alice in Wonderland?
Huh?
Whoa, I mean, fucking whoa, this movie is pushing the
Wow.
envelope of cinematic twist.
I don't know,
Who could
wow.
have seen that coming? Next you'll be telling me that Clark Kent all this time was Clark Kent.
I only
Man,
watched this movie
knows how to
once.
keep you on your fucking toes.
And I forgot about
Wasn't
that.
really
That's just
told.
insane.
It was a memory. This place is real.
Yeah, I've only watched this movie once.
So are you, and so
Same with Charlie and the
Ding,
Chocolate
ding,
Factory.
ding. What do we have for her, Johnny?
Jim Carrey, liar,
You
liar.
were just as dim-witted the first time you were here. You called it Wonderland, as I recall.
Wait a minute, what was that line?
You were just as dim-witted the first time you were here. You called it Wonderland, as I recall.
Well, it's not called Wonderland. What is it called?
Crimes against Underland. Underland.
Underland? What?
So let me get this straight. In Alice in Wonderland, the story based on the Lewis Carroll novel, Alice is not a girl, she's a woman. She's not in Wonderland, she's returning to Wonderland. And Wonderland itself, in fact, isn't Wonderland at all. It's called Underland.
Underland. Fuck off. No. That is really Underland.
Underland! It
Oh,
sounds like a
Christ.
made-up world in a Fruit of the Loom commercial. I'm sorry. How the flying fuck am I supposed to take an adaptation seriously when you can't even get one word? One fucking word of the goddamn title right!
It's just ridiculous.
I'm gonna say it.
No, Critic.
No, I'm gonna say it.
Critic, you
I'm sorry. No, don't hold me back. Don't hold me. I'm gonna say it. No, I'm gonna say it. I'm saying it. It puts me in this. I'm sorry. It puts me in this. Care Bears in Wonderland is a better adaptation than this.
Damn.
Come on. Apart from at least giving us what the fucking
Care
title
Bears.
promises, Care Bears in Wonderland and not
Christ.
Underland is still mad nonsense where everything is backwards. The villain of the movie wants to bring sense and order to it. That would be a legitimate threat to their world. So the fear in the movie is 100% justified. Here, the queen is just a jerk. But as long as she's as crazy as the rest of them, which she supposedly is, Underland
Underland.
shouldn't care. Because unless you missed what was
Maybe it was
constantly
they did it just to
hammered in
avoid
both the story,
getting
the
sued.
book, every interpretation ever made, they're mad. They're all fucking mad. So what should they care about any of this bullcrap?
I have no
And don't get me
idea.
wrong,
It's just
Care
ridiculous.
Bears is an awful movie. It's really bad.
Yeah,
They
I
do
know.
some stupid shit.
Oh,
like
I know.
being nice, a whole bunch of other.
We've seen the Care Bears
In terms
movies.
of which one is closer to the spirit
Oh,
of what Alice in
Christ.
Wonderland is,
Oh,
I'm
what a
sorry,
piece
the
of
fucking
shit that
Care
was.
Bears got closer.
Ugh.
They embraced the insanity of Wonderland. This one is ashamed to even be called Wonderland. Fuck that shit. What?
Speaking of things we're ashamed of.
Hey, hoo-ha-hoo-hee.
There he is! Let's go get him!
What the hell does sparkle, sparkle, sparkle pop in my head?
I am the great and powerful Tim. Oh, God damn it, Bern, you're not even ripping off the right source material. You're destroying the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
You don't need to do that. Sam Raimi already did that. Critic, why do you hate my work so much? I'm just trying to bring something creative and new. Then bring us something creative and new, not trying to destroy what was already fine with your tire cliches.
Yeah.
I mean, look at this climax.
I
think
mean-
the only reason you allow these adaptations to be so
I mean, the
war-hungry
CGI
because
is
you
good
like
and
getting
it's
shots of
bad.
Armies lining up. Seriously, look at all these movies that you've used them in. You're like obsessed with them. Hey, now come on. Those scenes came from Mars Attacks, Planet of the Apes, and Batman Returns. As we all know, those are critically acclaimed masterpieces, but they look so cool. We see Alice dressed up as Joan of Meh, and they have their dumbass little battle.
We meet on the battlefield once again.
That's enough chatter.
I'm
Oh,
the
okay.
wild, eccentric one where I come from.
Yeah, too
Again,
CGI-ish.
in our PG film, we get a rather gruesome decapitation of our fearsome Jabberwocky.
Off with your head!
Oh!
Mainly big-
Oh yeah, I approve.
Oh, no, oh my God! Oh.
Oh, that is the best family picture ever.
Bring the kitty.
We follow you no more.
So that takes the Red Queen out of power, Queen Uninteresting is in control again, and the Hatter feels he can finally celebrate by doing his dance.
Oh, Hedges dead.
Oh Christ, yes, this is just...
Oh,
Oh,
wait a minute.
Christ.
Is Wonderland, Underland, getting jiggy? I think it is. Boy, he ain't no paper man. He really swings out with the
I think
mess
he
of
did the
jive.
same sort of thing
Oh
with
my God,
Scooby-Doo.
I haven't seen anything this crunk since I saw Vanilla Ice
Was
crack
it
into the
Scooby-Doo
tune of
2?
macaroni and cheese. Oh, Hatter, you be dope.
Okay, are you sure you didn't escape from a mental institution?
So Alice goes back home, apparently wiser, and somehow even blander.
Sorry, Hamish. I can't marry you. I love you, Margaret, but this is my life. You're lucky to have my sister for your wife, Lowell. That is no prince, Aunt Imogen. You need to talk to someone about these delusions. Don't worry, Mother.
Or get a fucking
I'll
doctor.
find something useful to do with my life.
And you wanted a brain. What you don't have is a diploma.
You and I have business to discuss.
Shall we speak in the study?
Oh, and one more thing.
She talking to the...
My God!
What?
Her boring personality is in direct conflict with our boring personalities. Most unorthodox! So she uses her newfound expertise in sword fighting.
I don't
and
know, I
monster
still think
slaying
she was on drugs.
into
Someone
the
slipped
trading
her
business,
some drugs and
which
she's slowly
this
dying.
movie never mentions she has any knowledge of to begin with.
It's vast, the culture is rich, and we have a foothold in Hong Kong.
So she sails the Wonder... Oh, don't you mean under?
Under,
She
oh,
sets
come
to
on.
start her brand new life.
Hello, Absalom.
Oh, Christ.
Really? That's our big closer? I've seen more thrilling conclusions out of Bernstein Bears. So, Critic, what do you think of my blockbuster masterpiece?
It sucks.
I'm sorry, I know a lot of people really enjoy this movie, but I just think it's awful!
Yeah, same with Charlie and Chocolate
It should have
Factory.
been a match made in heaven turned
Sucks.
into a needlessly complicated storyline from a seemingly simple source material. How can a movie based on a pointless book be even more pointless by trying to give it a point? On top of that, the film thinks that the more evil it can make the villains, the more interested we'll be in our heroes, rather than just writing the heroes interestingly. You can make it dark, you can make it intense, but unless you have a coherent story and characters that have a little bit more charm than snake vomit, it doesn't amount to anything. Sometimes the visuals are nice.
Yeah,
and
the
once in
visuals
a
are nice,
while
don't
it
get me
brings
wrong,
out
it-
a little bit of the
it's kinda
zaniness from
cool,
the
the
book,
visuals, but-
most of it misses the spirit, the charm,
Yeah,
and yes,
it does
even
miss.
the wonder that made Alice in Wonderland so great. I bet even Malice could do a more Tim
Malice.
Burton-style Alice in Wonderland sequel than Tim Burton could. Come on, y'all knew we were going there. But, Critic, I thought you liked my work. I did when you did original stuff. Beetlejuice, Edward Scissorhands, The Nightmare Before Christmas, those were all great. But now all you do is terrible remakes. Well, that's all part of being an artist, Critic. I mean, some ideas
Remaking
hit bullseyes and others are dead
great
on arrival.
movies
So you
into
just
even
keep
worse
trying.
movies.
Not if you keep living in another person's shadow. I mean, no good can ever come of that.
I think this video begs to differ.
What? No! Please don't hurt me. What is a creepy girl of indiscernible age?
Some home movies of the critic's room when he was young.
Please don't.
Burton opener. Wow.
Well, looky
Is
here.
this some-
Looks like somebody was
is this some
looking at
old
somebody
footage?
else's shadow.
Oh my god, you are a fanboy of me?
It looks like he has a full corner of his room dedicated
Wow.
Just
There's
really
nothing
like
wrong
your
with
work,
that.
that's all.
I mean, Tim Burton could do some really great
a few fan
stuff.
drawings every once in a while. A lot of that looks pretty creative. Most of it's crap, but some of it's good. You see, Critic, just because you're interpreting someone else's work doesn't mean some good can't come out of it. After all, didn't you enjoy Sweeney Todd? Yeah, but... And
I did.
didn't you like Big Fish? Yeah, but... And isn't one of your favorite movies of all time my adaptation of Batman? Yeah, but that doesn't excuse bad remake after bad remake. And Alice in Wonderland, I'm sure will never be remade again.
Oh yeah.
Well, just because it's been done a million times before doesn't mean it'll be done a million times again. Critic, this is just how
Didn't he do
artists
Alice
work.
through the Looking
Sure,
Glass?
I'll make a lot
Dear
of
God, that was
But for
bad.
every Dark Shadows, there's an Edward. For every Planet of the Apes, there's a Beetlejuice. In fact, my next movie is called Big Eyes, based on the artist who did that kitsch artwork in the 60s.
Oh,
and all the
yeah,
trials and
I-
tribulations she had to go through.
I heard about that movie.
Actually, that
Big
sounds
Eyes.
kind of interesting. And based on another source material. Alright, for the good of the creative mind, I guess it's good to put up with some crap every once in a while.
But wait, there's still one thing I never figured out. Why was the Black Rabbit so happy all this time?
Oh, isn't it obvious? This is the first Tim Burton project to ever have a black man in a main role.
Oh boy.
There was Harvey Dent. Wait, no, he was in the main character. There's Oogie Boogie in... No, he only came in the last third. Oh my god, you're right!
See?
You know, for a director who celebrates black and white, you sure do put a lot more emphasis on the white than you do the black.
Nevertheless, go forth, my young ones, back into the real world to look forward to the wonders that Burton Land will bring unto you.
I will, Mr. Burton. I know you won't let me down.
Oh, he will. He will. In the future.
Tim Burton's eagerly anticipated Big Eyes has been canceled. Replaced with his latest cinematic creation, Adventure Time, starring Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter.
Oh,
I
Christ.
completely forgot whatever lesson I was supposed to learn.
Oh, boy. Yeah, this movie's not good. I like some of it. I like the animations, the CGI effects, but they can be overwhelming. Visually, anyway.
I like largeness.
You like largeness? Oh, okay. Okay. Alright, yeah. That was Alice in Wonderland for 2010. The movie, for me, it was bad. Yeah, it was bad. And it was good. Like I said at the beginning of the video, it was good and bad. It was a mixed bag of levels. Still, I think the sort of CGI for me is very overwhelming. Maybe it's just me, but I just don't like too overly CGI effects where everything's just sort of going that far. I can understand people can enjoy this, you know, but I felt it's overwhelming. Like I said, I felt like this is similar to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. It's just so overwhelmingly, it's too much. It's too much. It's like a bagel with cream cheese. Yeah, you know, like, you know what's bullshit or something like that. That episode is a bagel with cream cheese. It's too much. It's too much cheese, and you got to scrape a little bit out. Yeah, it was a bit like that for me. It's too much going on. You know, I like easygoing sort of movies to watch. I don't like it when it's very overwhelming and it feels exhausting to watch. And this is what it was for me. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and Alice in Wonderland, it's exhausting to watch. I feel out of breath when watching it. Not out of breath as in a good way. Out of breath in a bad way, like, oh Christ, I need a breath. There's too much visuals, there's so much going on, I can't keep up. But that's probably just me because I'm easily sort of over censored, you know, my sensory input is overloaded. Yeah, I kind of like it slow paced. If they would have done scraped a bit more cheese off the top, sort of, so to speak, took a little bit of the CGI away, and made it, I mean, I like the CGI, some of it. I mean, Johnny Depp was totally cool. I kind of liked his performance, you know, with all the different accents. I mean, he's the Mad Hatter, he's crazy, he's probably got different tons of personalities and stuff like that, and I didn't really mind that. Yeah, I just didn't like this, and I did like it. I got to cherry pick the movie, and you know, yeah, this movie sucks and it's good, and that's what I really can say. It sucks, and it's good at the same time somewhat. It's not a really bad movie that you must watch. It's a cherry pick movie where you just got to find something good about it, cherry pick 50% off it all, and leave the 50% bad bit. It's a bit like, you know, picking grapes from a bush. You know, you're gonna pick 50% of the grapes off the bush. They're gonna be wonderful, and the rest of the 50% of the grapes are not just ready. They're sort of shriveled. They're not ready, and they haven't grown properly yet. And that's basically with this movie, and same with Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. They just haven't sort of, you know, gotten all the way. It's not entirely grown, but it's not completely done in fruition. But yeah, this is comparing the animated to the you know, a sort of live performance, and those two transitions differently. So I'm sure you're going to enjoy this. I'm sure you're going to like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. If you enjoy Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, I know I keep going on about that damn movie, but I can't get over the fact that it budgets my childhood. I like Gene Wilder's one. Yeah, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, definitely not the one for me. And if you enjoyed it, fine, whatever, enjoy it. Go ahead, whatever you can salvage from the movie, you go right ahead. A lot of people said it was closer to the books. I really didn't care if it was closer to the books. If you want it closer to the books, then read the fucking book. But as for Alice in the Wonderland, nah, bad. And good at the same time, like I said. But yeah, let's end the video here, shall we? So if you like this video, make sure to give a like, comment down below, make sure to subscribe to my channel if you enjoy my content. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.